So I love what Giannis has brought up. Well, we brought it up a while ago, and that's everybody outside the United States versus the United States in the All-Star game. And I said, well, what do you have to lose? Like we've already lost the All-Star game. Maybe you can get it back. And I certainly like my starting five with the players from outside the United States. What's the negative to this?
The negative to me is that you have to search for a way for guys to play hard and search for incentive to make the game interesting. Because we're going through all this, Dan, the Elon system, captains picking their teams, different iterations of the All-Star game, because it falls back on the players to not really wanting to play and play hard. At the end of the day, when the top players really want to play and you play hard, I'm not saying you're going to go out, 100 miles per hour and try to hurt yourself. But, in that second quarter, that third quarter, that fourth quarter, when it's time to compete and you're playing defense. And again, I go back to, the 80s and 90s, 2000s early when the games were played hard. Okay. And it wasn't just a dunk contest. That's what bothers me, that we have to search, or the NBA has to search for reasons to incentivize the players to really go out and play hard. So why are we looking at European players versus United States? Why? Because
we can't get them to play hard.
I know.
Now you play for your country. And if the players, whether Team World, beat the Americans, now you have something. Now you have, oh my goodness, then the next year? Like now we have something. I don't watch the All-Star game because I've said it's a glorified layup line. I don't care. Even the dunk contest, I don't care. 3-point, you can still dress that up.
Yeah, you can dress it up.
WNBA and NBA. You could have prior, like Del Curry and Steph Curry could be a team. You could do something like that, and I'd be fine with that. But this, to me, if the world beat Team USA, I think at least it has a pulse.
Well, how does it? But here's the thing, too. Will guys get left out because of this? And with regards to the number of players. Well, the number of players, too. Because if you think about it, if you got 25 players or 24 players, whatever it may be, and now you're looking at placing a European team together, American team. That means you need 12 European players, right? Let's say you got 12 on the bench. 12 on the team.
Yeah.
But ironically, maybe 5 to 8 are your real all-stars. So that means now you're putting another 4 to 5 players that are there that are taking spots from other players who should be all-stars, okay? So you run into that dynamic too. It sounds great, but when you're voting for the all-star team, you pick the 24, 25 best players, the all-star. Ironically, the majority are going to be American players. But you have to fill out that roster if it's a European team, and that means on the American side, it's going to be guys that deserve to be an all-star that don't end up making it if you go that way. Now, again, I don't know how the process will be, but I think you have that as something that you really have to look at on how that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I do. But I'm just trying to have the All-Star game mean something, and this might be a last-ditched effort.